bright as fuck in here again. I kind of liked recording in the bank. Can I have one of those?
The beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Let me go grab one before we start this. If you're drinking one, I'll buy this one.
Yeah, that's not cool. I'll have to get in there. Too many urethras.
My twin died in the womb. I said, hey, he's not using that urethra. So... all the good men are at home. And they
Sucking their own
They
dick.
just fix their own dinner. And they're sitting in a clean house, about to suck their own dick. So you may have noticed a change if you're watching our show.
Our goal is to make you regret asking for this. Because, like, you've been asking us to do a video thing for a while. We finally have the equipment to do it. And I really, really, really think that, if anything, it's going to detract from the experience for you. And I'm determined to make that a reality.
Also, he didn't tell me.
Yeah, I didn't tell Ben this was happening. He showed up, and I was like, ready for camera time? And he was like, I am wearing a lot of branded content. And it's like, it's cool.
Content.
Shirt. I don't know what anything is.
This motherfucker just called closed content. He's lost his mind.
All I do is the internet now, man.
Yeah, man, what is your job title now? Because if you start calling yourself an influencer, I know it's time to take you out back.
You know, it's funny. I actually, so I got paid to do some sponsored stuff recently.
Yeah.
For my channel and then for some other stuff as well. And they sent me this contract, and they were like, they had, their name and title is like, social media marketing development manager, blah blah blah, or whatever, and all this stuff, and they had the same lines for me, so I listed my title as Internet Science Man on all of these legal documents. Nice. And because of that, I think for the Sequest video, that's how I introduced myself. I'm like, hey, I'm Internet Science Man, Forrest Valkai, good to meet you.
Excellent.
That's what I'm gonna put on my business cards.
It's
Internet
called,
Science Man.
Well, I mean, that is a thing you can do.
Yeah.
The cool thing about today's times is you can put anything on a card.
Anything you want.
And say, that's me now.
Anything you want.
You proved that before we were even adults.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we were kids, so I went to business school for a little while, and I wanted to be a businessman, but I didn't know what else I wanted to do, and I hated not knowing things, and so I wanted to be everything, and so I made business cards that said, Forrest G. Valkai, self-appointed professional everything. And I just passed those around to every fucking person that I met.
Everybody.
Self-appointed professional everything. And, yeah, there's probably some people out there in the world that still have those. They'll be worth millions someday.
Yeah, throw them away now.
While you have the chance.
Don't let your investment come to fruition.
Oh, man.
And other anti-advice from Ben.
Anti-advice.
It's a book. It's a book I'm writing. Always run from the law.
So, now that you get to actually see us, you see how things have changed since the last time we had video. We now have one microphone. We upgraded from 2.
Yeah, so that's quite the
and it's because
thing we did.
No matter what we tried, we always got weird echoey audio. No matter how far we turned the microphones down, no matter how close to our faces they were, we tried to emulate all the other podcasts. it was H3 and Tiny Meat Gang and Ear Biscuits. They all have their own microphone that's like in their mouths, and we tried everything.
Yeah, but it's going to. They're not using Audacity.
That's also true. They're using
that's
like
it. That's the
equipment.
most true thing. Yeah, it's because like okay, so before I had 2 microphones and it went into a thing and it was like and that did the controlling.
If we had like a switchboard,
and there were 2
kind.
channels going to professional level software, or mostly professional level software that can handle 2 channels at once, and so it was fine. Audacity doesn't.
We're using this shareware over
so
here.
It actually so it makes way more sense to do it the way we're doing it now with 1 microphone. But I guess we had to go through a lot of pain to learn that.
Yeah, well, and then also
for no reason.
Also, we were doing everything on like my laptop, which is a hand-me-down from a dentist's office that my sister-in-law used to work at, and the thing, like, it has a hard time running Word. And so, like, we would drop chunks of audio, it would get real bad, there was no mixing involved. We had voice meter.
We lost entire episodes.
We lost entire episodes and had to come back and redo them later. It was, oh my gosh, it was a pain in the dick. And so, like, now we're able to kind of like revamp, go back and fix things. I don't know where to look now.
We're about to go back.
Go back.
And
also, now that we have a camera and it's not on the cell phone anymore, we don't have the whole audio sync issue, because we were recording the whole episodes with the cell phone. The audio recorded at actual, like, whatever the equivalent in audio would be, like 24 frames per second, whereas the cell phone was like 23 and a half or whatever. And so we literally had to go through every 30 seconds and cut the audio and fix it. It was a nightmare. And so now we have an actual freaking camera and the actual freaking microphone, and we acceptable audio software, and then we can put everything into Adobe Premiere and actually make it nice.
Software. It's like it's still Audacity for us.
It's the A in Audacity stands for acceptable.
The A in Audacity stands for fucking free.
Why would they start it with A?
No, actually, I think the A in Audacity stands for Audacity.
Oh shit, you're right. But this is now what the podcast can be. This is now where we are in the life cycle of the podcast. As we went from a snippet of video.
Life cycle admits that it's gonna have an end.
To no, what we're gonna die. But like to no video, to armadillos for no goddamn reason, to now this nightmare.
Oh man, I just realized, where are we gonna put the armadillos?
I think that's the thing. I think we've outgrown them dillos. We've overdilled it. We overdilled it. Now we're in a new era of the podcast.
There you go, champ.
Armadillus. Yeah, I like that one.
I don't like anything you just said.
That being said, new merch probably with the I'm not comfortable with this logo,
probably,
but with an armadillo instead of a couch.
We should put that.
That'll be our new mascot.
We should put,
and that. Only true fans of the show will understand, because when that's the thing. People who watch us on episode 400 and they're buying the armadillo shirts and they're like, why is a fucking armadillo? But like, if you're like, and I'm not comfortable with this fanatic, then you'd be like, oh yeah, it was episode what probably like 15, something like that we started, and like they just got really sick of using. I don't even know. They got sick of using the shitty video system that they had, and so they put up some baby armadillos as like a template placeholder, and then that ended up being just like what they continued doing because they're lazy sacks of shit. And like, you could be here for that. You were here for that transition, that change. And maybe you're like an anthropologist of some kind.
You know that we're not.
Going back and reading, listening to all of these, the opposite of reading. Listening to all of these.
Is that the opposite?
Maybe writing is.
Yeah, I think the opposite of reading would be writing.
I feel like they're similar because they're both words on paper. I don't know, man. The whole thing is that this is changing and you're a part of it. You at home, at work, trying to get to sleep, putting us on in the background, listening to us ramble about whatever. You're a part of this transition, this change, this new era in podcasting. Man. What?
It's like that meme, the meme where it's the dude he's sitting next to the poster of the girls eating ice cream, and it's like how it feels to listen to a podcast, and he's like smiling and joking with them. He's got his ice cream, and the people on the poster have the ice cream, and that's what it's like to listen to a podcast.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You feel like we're there.
I get that from all the shows I listen to.
Yeah, I listen to like every night. I just turn on like the
I
Game
hope I
Grumps.
do that. I hope I do that for somebody else in some way, shape, or form. That's enough.
Yeah.
If somebody just has an easier day.
Yeah.
That's how shitty the fucking world is.
I put on the Game Grumps
anyway,
and just
happy
fall
holidays.
asleep to that every night.
Game
and
Grumps
I feel
is great.
like it's just, we're just chilling and I'm just dozing, It's awesome. So you're absolutely right. I didn't think about it that way, and I love that. You know what?
That's beautiful.
If you feel like
It's a way to not
like we're pals because you listen to us all the time, you feel like
Don't
you know
ever
us a little bit
approach me.
more. Don't. I relish that feeling, because the truth of the matter is it's insanely awkward if you ever actually get to meet somebody.
But I do think that there is something to be gained from the shared experience of listening to other people talk and joke and tell stories. And even though like you do have to understand, like one of my favorite podcasts, like I feel like if I sat down in a room with them, I'd be like, oh my god, you guys like all these inside jokes, but the reality is that I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, you're still a stranger.
And they talk about that. They brought that up on the show before. They're like, we have inside jokes that like don't go on the podcast. You know? And it's like,
for sure,
that makes sense. So it's so interesting to even think about.
There was I
think we've mentioned this before on the show, but it's like kind of just the way like people. Well, it was probably celebrity episode.
Yeah, probably so. There was actually, because I've gotten several emails
take
actually.
This fucking hoodie off and turn my shirt inside out.
it's too hot in here.
Yeah.
I've gotten several emails from people saying like I listen to the podcast and I'm just like fucking like right, yes, exactly the whole time. They just agree with everything we're saying loudly to themselves while they're doing their housework.
That is what it's like to listen to a podcast, though.
But I also know, like I said, I put on the Game Grumps to chill to and to listen to and everything, and there have been a million times where like I'm just screaming at them like, no, you fucking idiot, like no. And that like Achievement Hunter's the same way. I watch a lot of gaming things, and like that's all. Like I'm just like I feel like I'm a part of it, but also I'm very angrily not sometimes.
Interesting.
Do you watch on the Game Grumps the playthrough of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door? Did you watch that one?
Yes.
I hate watch that every now and then. I'm in the middle of doing it right now because it's, if you don't know, if you're watching this, listening to this at home, whatever, I don't even know what to say. If you're at home, if you are hearing my voice right now for whatever fucking reason, there's this game called Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, and it's a phenomenal game, and it was a big part of my childhood. I loved it when I was a kid, and everybody who played it loved it, and the Game Grumps played it badly. And they played it so poorly,
the wrong way,
and they took these long breaks to play other things, and during those other games would say, hey, I know you guys really want us to continue playing the Thousand Year Door, but we're going to play this now for a little while. And it's like, I get it that it's your channel and you can do what you want, but like, fuck you, don't rub it in my face, you know what I mean? And then, like, they would get so many emails, like, hate mail, like, hey, you're not doing, like, the thing that the game is, like, at the beginning of the game where they told you how to do this, and then, like, you're 30 episodes in, and it's like you're just playing it for the first time because you don't know how to do anything because you don't pay attention, and it's like, oh my god, it's awful. It is awful to watch, and it destroys me because I love that game so much, and it just makes me want to then go play it. So that's what I'm doing now. I just finished my midterms.
Watching other people play games.
Yeah, well, that's watching them play
America's
games.
favorite pastime
Makes me want to go now play video games better. You know what I mean?
What games are you playing?
The fucking Thousand Year Door. I just finished my second round of midterms, and I got final in 2 weeks.
On the old fake GameCube.
The emulator? Yeah.
I don't have a working GameCube right now. Fucking get over it. I don't like. Here's the thing. Here's how I look at it, because people are always. I don't know why this is even a debate, because if people want to emulate a game, to me, it's like, I understand if it's like if somebody's emulating stuff that just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up, because it's like they haven't had a chance to make the money back off of the investment they made yet. But like, a fucking 20-year-old Game Boy game, give me a break. That's like the same as me going and reading Shakespeare and then somebody being like, oh, you need to pay $50 for that.
Right.
It's like, shut up.
Exactly.
No, I don't have to, because it was from a long time ago. And like, also something I think is really interesting is the idea of game preservation.
Yeah.
Like the idea that we need to take these things that won't exist anymore because of licensing issues and deplatforming and shit. Deplatforming is not the right word, but like removing stuff from like online stores and shit.
Yeah.
Like we need to be able to preserve those somehow because it's an artistic thingy-majig.
Yeah.
And like I'm kind of like, wow, that's true. Like there is some merit to that argument. But when it comes to like some kid just emulating a game, people like actually having a serious debate about it, I'm like, oh, like Nintendo is missing $5.
Right.
The biggest thing though is that I personally have paid for all of the games I've emulated multiple times.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Any game I've ever pirated, it's because I already owned it twice and I was like, I'm not buying it again.
It's not like they're going to fucking go to the Nintendo store and buy a copy of Paper Mario. They're going to get it from a second, third, fourth, fifth hand store where they just sell used video games.
So
Nintendo's not making anything.
Like, no, they're just vaulting their intellectual properties like some kind of fucking Japanese Disney. That's what they are. I love Nintendo, but they really are like insane.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They are insane.
But
it's because they're a big company, and that's what do you get? They're a corporation. It's like they act the way that you know they're gonna act.
When I've been doing YouTube for 20 years, I'm gonna I'm not taking the ads off the old videos. I'm gonna make something off of that. But at least the audience isn't suffering from that. They just have to sit through like maybe a 30-second thing about some cheese they don't want. They don't have to actually go out and like go through legal process of trying to find a way to give me currency. You know what I mean?
Or buy the cheese.
You don't have to buy the cheese.
You don't have to buy the cheese.
You just have to observe and learn about the properties of the cheese.
Head cheese, that is.
Head cheese.
When we get the head cheese brand deal, I think that's when I'll know we made it.
So many people wanted to see you eat head cheese.
I'm going to, just not anytime definitely not on the first video episode.
No, we'll do it next time.
I thought wait. I said I wasn't going to eat the head cheese in Beirut until we get like 10 grand. Subs.
Was it
10,000 subs?
I don't actually remember the numbers.
I do.
Was it 10,000?
It's all about me and eating head cheese. I remember the numbers.
Was it 10,000 subs and then
you started at 1,000 and I said, you know what? No, but 10.
What if we layer it? What if you do like blood sausage at 10,000?
No, I fucking hate blood sausage. And
that's right. So that's up to 10,000. So 1,000 is head cheese.
No.
We'll do tiers. We'll do levels.
You go back and listen to the episode where I already decided this.
The more subscribers we get, I don't know why I said it that way.
Subscribers.
I was going to just say subs, but
As opposed to domscribers.
I hate saying it that way for that reason. I hate just saying subs. The more subscribers that we get, the more gross things Ben will eat. And that's the podcast.
Okay, so Forrest, I think, has
Smash that like button if you agree.
He has shown me his hand a little bit tonight, because he was like, look at this guy puke on YouTube. And so from that, I gleamed that his ultimate goal with the podcast is just to get me to throw up on camera.
Yeah, fun fact about me, I find vomit hilarious. I don't know why.
See him not denying it? You see fucking, now you have eyes, see. Look upon him.
Now you have eyes, see. I don't know why it's so fucking funny to me, but like that's if I ever could actually get you to vomit, I would love it. That was not my goal.
It's not like hard to get somebody to vomit, Forrest. You just feed them head cheese and blood sausage on a camera.
I've eaten both of those things. I've never once eaten them on camera, but I would. I'll eat them. I will eat them with you.
How bad? I know you will. You'll be like, it's so good.
I enjoy them both.
You'll be like, and then I'm going to be like, it's not so bad. And then I'll try the second one and just start puking.
Well, the blood sausage is blood and tongue together.
The problem with blood and tongue sausage is that I can't get the image of what it is out of my head.
But both of those things are good for you.
Yeah, but I don't like seeing it in such a raw form. It just fucks with me mentally. It's like, because in the blood sausage, it's literally like you described on the episode. It's congealed sausage made of blood and fat.
It's coagulated
and then
blood.
Tongue, right? But the tongue is like they shove a beef tongue through the fucking loaf.
No, they don't.
And then they slice. Yeah, they fucking do. And then they slice it. I've eaten this at your fucking home.
Have I ever served that for you before?
In high school, yeah, you gave me blood and tongue sausage.
That sounds like something I would do. It sounds exactly like something I would do.
You did this shit all the time. What are you talking about, you maniacal psycho? He's over here. La, 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 la. You piece of shit.
Well, then it shouldn't be hard then. We can do it again. You've already had it once. You know it's great.
Yeah, I just don't want to do the Beirut scares me because, as I've previously mentioned, you fucked it up.
Beirut's for 1 million subscribers.
No. I said 10,000.
All right.
I said 10,000.
So 10,000 subscribers.
I said if we get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll eat the Beirut. I think I said Beirut and the head cheese, but we can go check it. But I know I did at least agree to the Beirut.
Okay, so
if you cook it properly.
At 1,000 subscribers, then, which we're very close to, I think we're like 150, 200 away, then what?
You piece of shit. What do you want? The hot chip, the sour candy?
No, what we can do, so I've got a good hookup for blood sausage. I've got a good hookup for head cheese.
I've got a good hookup. A fucking butcher I can get it in an alleyway. It's not a hookup. It's a guy.
Stir-fried pig uteri. They make it at the Asian Mart down the road, and it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's like the consistency of mushrooms. It's thoroughly cooked, so I feel like I could try. I know because I know.
Well, so are the sausages. Okay,
so what's fucked up is I know about a serial killer, and I've heard a story about him, and he used to eat uteruses, so I know what a uterus is described to have been like.
Well, this is from a pig. So it's less weird, I suppose.
It's less weird for us to do it. It's still like pretty close to the kind of uterus I would get if I carved up a lady.
I guess pig anatomy and human anatomy is remarkably similar. Yeah, you're right.
It's remarkably similar.
Yeah.
Almost as if we used to be pigs.
The whole Animal Farm situation.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Animal Farm is fucking weird just because of the whole thing with the animals, like really going after it and taking out the farmers and shit.
The point of the book.
Well, like, no, it's fine. I understand the point of the book, but I'm saying like that I always had a hard time with the fact that they like it's the animals.
Yeah.
And like they're overthrowing the farm. And like it just bothered me because like they use the guns and shit. And I'm like they could never do that. These farmers deserve to have their farms taken.
If this is what they're allowing,
if they couldn't control it, which I guess is also kind of part of the point.
Exactly, you're getting into it. Yeah,
fuck Animal Farm.
Orwell teach you some shit.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, let's do that. You know what? Okay, fine. 1,000 subscribers, I eat the pig uterus.
1,000 subscribers.
You're gonna season it, right?
1,000 subscribers. It's gonna be
good, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be delicious.
Yeah.
If I can get it. If I can't get it, I'll get something else that's equally good.
All right, you heard it here. I'm not gonna.
If I can find a decent beef tongue, I'll just make you a beef tongue. They're easy to cook. You just boil the shit out of them with some juniper berries and some bay leaves and whatnot.
I feel like I could do it that way. I feel like that'd be easier than the blood and tongue sausage.
Well, so what you do is you boil the whole tongue all together, and then you skin it, and then you slice it, and you just get like these little medallions of like the best fucking. It tastes like the amazing roast beef is what it tastes like. It's really, really good. And you make homemade biscuits. And you slice them, and you make a horseradish and cream sauce.
Right. So maybe we let them. Okay. So number one, 1,000 subscribers. The number one will be the stir-fried pig uterus, and if we can't get a hold of that,
then I'll just make you a tongue.
Then we'll just eat some beef tongue.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's the best cut of beef. Beef tongue is seriously my favorite part of the cut.
I'll try the beef tongue.
It's just expensive.
I have a hard time with blood sausage because I have a hard time with tasting blood because I taste blood so often.
You're like Brett McGlow. Whoa. Yeah. That changed real quick there.
Yeah, I taste blood a lot.
Whose?
That's mine.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes.
It's my own blood.
That changes quite a bit.
You're the one. Anyway, we don't need to. Yeah. If anybody should be worried about anybody doing anything crazy, it's me about you.
You don't even know me.
I mean, like, that's what's terrifying, right? Is that I've known you this long and I don't know you.
You've known me for like 20 years and we're always coming up with weird shit.
To be truthful, you don't know me either.
In fairness.
You have an accurate guess of what I might do in any given situation, probably, but that's about as far as you can take it.
Amber tells me all the time.
And you don't know anything about my dick.
Don't even get started, because you know how badly I'm fucking. I'm not even gonna get started.
Yeah, let's get started. Go ahead and finish.
Because the audience isn't gonna understand
no idea.
the backstory here about why that bothers me. But anyway, Amber fucking tells me all the time that like if anybody was to murder, did the camera just die? Did the camera just die? Son of a bitch!
Did you plug it in?
Well, no, because it's got a battery in the whole thing.
Maybe the screen viewer just went off. The viewfinder. The fucking screen. The LCD. The LED. What kind of is it?
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's the what happened was that after 30 minutes it times out and it stops recording.
Can you stop that?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm leaving all that in there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because this is a picture camera. It's a regular camera. It's a Canon EOS M50.
Yeah.
And so it's not an actual video camcorder. It's just a picture camera that can do video. And there are international tax laws in Europe that camcorders, video cameras, are taxed at a higher rate than cameras are. And so they have this limit that a camera can record video up to 29 minutes and 59 seconds. But if it goes over 30 minutes, then that is now a video camera and it gets a higher tax rate. And so all camera corporations, just because these are European laws, just all over the world, all cameras can only record for 30 minutes at a time. And so every 30 minutes, I have to get up and restart the camera. We should only have to do that twice for this, but I just remembered that's a problem because when I'm recording YouTube videos, I have to have a timer set in front of me for like 25 minutes so I can restart the camera. So I'm going to have to get up and do that every now and then.
That's preposterous.
It's really fucking annoying.
That's preposterous.
It's really dumb. And what's crazy is that this, because it's designed for like high quality pictures and whatnot, actually has better quality and better like resolution than a camcorder would have.
It's what we want.
This
Except for
gives
the part
me
where it's a fucking weird
this is
thing.
Better videos in a device that for legal reasons is not supposed to produce videos.
Well, okay, so, man, wow.
Yeah.
What a mind fuck, first of all.
Capitalism.
So, yeah, that's just international dumb laws.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of things that are manufactured horrifically because we have some kind of rule.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame Europe, but in this instance, I'm going to blame Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Bastards.
Ugh.
Why would you tax video cameras? Cameras should be taxed equally.
That's equal rights for cameras. No taxation without represent cameras. I don't know.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. I was saying that Amber tells me all the time that if anybody's going to murder me, it'd be her. And that was the whole point of that whole story. I was going to go into it, but now it's just over. The camera's ruined.
The camera. What's interesting, I guess, well, not interesting, I guess, so really if you're shooting like your little, like for your videos, because you do cut, so it's probably not as noticeable. Yeah. Right? Like, because you're going to be restarting the camera anyway.
Exactly. So, like,
but with this, it's like...
It's just you're seeing it happen in real time. So now every goddamn episode, you're going to have to hear halfway through, just like, oh, fuck, let me go get the camera now. And that's just going to be a part of the video now.
They're going to stop wanting video after, like, the second time we do
I told you, at the beginning of this thing, I said, we're going to make you regret asking for video.
So, like... What the fuck are we doing?
You haven't gained anything from it. You haven't seen anything that you wouldn't have already, like, you wouldn't have noted, you know what I mean? Like, you haven't gained anything. Now that you have the whole situation where I have to turn the camera on after 30 minutes, are you happy now? The audience? Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted to see?
Man, I hate this fucking show. What?
That's funny.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Oh, man. Well, so we're 30 minutes in then. That's that. If that indicates anything to me, it tells
I think
me
we can carry on into a more serious territory now.
We spent the first half of this episode bullshitting about what the show could be later. And now the meat of the issue. Fuck Kyle Rittenhouse. I'll throw that out there. I don't know if that's what we're going with this episode. We haven't planned anything.
I don't think we're going with that, but that is a very topical issue.
Fuck that guy. Just fuck that guy. At the January 6th insurrection, when a bunch of fucking neo-Nazis and white supremacists and fascists all stormed the Capitol with the actual stated purpose of killing members of Congress and the vice president, when that was happening, when these actual violent fascist extremists were actually saying, we are here to kill elected officials, let's go do it today. When that was going on, if a BLM supporter if a black person had shown up with a gun and killed 2 of those people, we wouldn't be having a trial like this. None of this shit would be going on. This would not be a controversial, hot button fucking issue.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think like if that happened, I feel fairly confident in saying I would be like, oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. Us on this side would also be like, hey, that was fucking probably wrong. But here we are, a white kid fucking took a gun that wasn't his illegally across state lines and murdered a couple of people. Why isn't his fucking mom in jail? She drove him to do that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Where's the fucking, some sort of CPS shit coming in here? Like, hey, why did you deliberately give your kid a gun and send him out to a protest to go murder people? What's that about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have you been keeping up with the trial at all?
No.
So I've seen some snippets. I haven't had time to keep up with it too much.
With anything.
Right. I haven't had time to keep up with it too much because I've been really, really busy with midterms, but I've been watching some snippets of it whenever I have the chance. And the amount of obvious coaching that this kid is just like exhibiting is insane.
Oh, and well, if you're come on now.
The bad
if
acting.
you or I was in a trial like that, we would be coached just as you know what I mean?
Just like fucking,
he's got to be coached. Look at how publicized his
it's
trial
up there.
is.
Where's the prosecutor's like, did you go there intending to hurt people? Like, no, of course not. Okay, why did you have the gun? To defend myself. So you thought you were in danger? No. So you didn't think you were in danger, but you decided to defend yourself with a gun. Well, yeah, I had to defend myself there. There were people there with guns, and they were a threat to me. Okay, so if they had guns and they were a threat, you also had a gun. So were you a threat? No, because it's just this bullshit fucking round.
But you were obviously a threat.
It's terrible.
Even if you were in the right, you'd be a threat because you showed up with a gun and killed people.
It's the whole fucking thing is just one more public display of are we gonna allow a little bit more white supremacy? Are we gonna be cool with that again this time? It's the same fucking thing with the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. It's the same fucking thing with the cop that killed George Floyd. It's the same fucking thing with all of them. And if they see any punishment, it's not enough, and it's due to extreme public pressure. And then sure enough, they're gonna turn around and fucking get off the hook later on. It's ugh. God, it blows.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, and they're going to pull the shit with this kid and be like, oh, he's just a kid. He's just starting his life. What about the lives that aren't happening at all anymore because of his actions?
Forrest, they shouldn't have been there.
Exactly. They shouldn't have been there. He had to be there to defend property that wasn't his. Because, property is more important than human lives in this country. Black lives only. Ugh, it's fucking gross, dude.
Here's the thing.
And then there's all the water protectors that are being rounded up and arrested right now. There was just a protest, the water protectors, the people trying to stop like Line 3 and whatnot, the indigenous peoples that are trying to stop the new oil pipelines from contaminating water.
They're protesting right now, though.
Yeah, they still are, yeah. And
they've still been protesting.
They've been protesting for a while and getting no media attention for it. And the police are just doing horrible things to them, the same way they were with the Keystone XL pipeline a little while ago.
Then it doesn't matter.
Well,
it's going to be swept under the rug and nobody's going to know about it.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is they went to the fucking Capitol a couple of days ago, and the police showed the same extreme, ridiculous, pointless brutality and rounded these people up and beat the fuck out of them and arrested them all for no fucking reason. And I'm over here like, they should have just tried to overthrow the government because apparently that's cool. Apparently that's not a big deal if they had just done that. But since they were over there like, hey, basic human rights, environmental protection, honoring the treaties that you made? No, we can't fucking have that. That's the problem.
Son of a bitch hitting the fucking microphone.
Yeah, I slapped the shit out of it. Well, because we don't have the pop guards even where they're supposed to be. We just sat down.
You haven't had the pop guards where they're supposed to be for like the last 4 episodes.
And they wouldn't know if we didn't have a camera. So you're gonna regret asking for it. Here it is. This is what you're seeing. You see our shame.
Fucking show.
It's such a weird thing that we do every week, and I love it.
Anyway. Yeah, the whole thing sucks. I don't know how to feel about it. I know that he is the one who definitely shouldn't have been there.
Right.
I do. The fact that he's so young does resonate with me to an extent. It doesn't exempt him from anything, but it does make me sad.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And you bring up a good point when you talk about his mom because she did drive him there. She did provide the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What is the logic there?
Right. I heard that there was something that they were trying to get him, like, excused of like carrying a gun across state lines. They were trying to imply like some sort of like hunting laws that he would have been obeying. It's like, fucking, you seriously go into a murder trial and saying, well, hunting laws is okay? Really? Like, fuck, bro.
That's pretty...
I don't remember enough about the details of that to really get into. I'm sure someone could look it up. But like,
well, we know there is no law in the American legal system.
Right, exactly.
Just a bunch of people talking about ideas. So, I mean, like, that whole thing sucks. I don't know what you do about it. I see... 8 years ago, I saw a lot of division in this country. Today, I see a lot more division in this country when I was kind of hoping eventually things would settle down.
No, it's worse.
And it's just... people aren't going to get their way anymore because the economy is about to collapse. And I think as long as people can keep blaming the other people for the economy collapsing and things not going their way, we're not going to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as politicians can, and they will, continue to just play on that...
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck we do or say or what any of it matters for or like why anything happens. Like, I'm turning into a fucking piece of shit who's just like, I gotta get money.
Then that's the problem, man, is that we've got, we've said this a million times, is that both parties suck not even close to the same amount. Like, I don't want to come across as sounding like some bitch-ass centrist. It is,
okay, you're right. But it is enough that I'm like, I've slipped into a more hands-off approach. Like, I'm almost to the point where I'm like, politics better stay the fuck out of my way.
Right.
But you can't be that way because there's people involved. And that's the thing that sucks. If I could just be like, oh, I don't care about anything. And also I don't have any reason to care about anything. That'd be great. But right now it's like, I don't have the energy to care about anything, but I also can't in good conscience stay in that mode for too long. And it's just stupid.
There's people involved, and that's the thing that sucks, is the definition of politics, though. That's of society in general.
And you can really slice that from so many angles, and it still rings true, because I'm a genius. I coined a phrase once, and then nobody is ever allowed to say it again.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But it sucks. Like, we've talked about compassion fatigue. I have fatigue from all emotions.
It's hard. It's really hard. And it's especially hard when, you're a young person chasing your dreams, trying to make your way in the world, trying to figure yourself out, trying to like learn who you are and what you want to be and what you want to do, while also struggling with a broken economy, extreme debt, can't find a job anywhere. The jobs you can find suck. Can't get food. The roads are falling apart. Bridges are falling apart. No health care. No social security for us.
They're all so afraid of each other and what each other might be doing too, that they can't even like agree to discuss issues civilly anymore.
Yeah.
And like Republicans, conservative people, like, they're the kings of conspiracy. But I see plenty of like my liberal friends also falling into certain conspiracy traps. And then trying to use the same like kind of like QAnon dumbass logic to piece things together. And I'm like, will you stop that? I was like, this isn't how that works. Like, this is a real issue. You need to look at it analytically and try to and look at all the stories and then go, okay, this dude's full of shit. Like, but they don't. Like, it's just everyone is so embedded. And I've talked about this so much, and I'm like, not the only person. Millions of people talk about it. But like, centrism doesn't work either.
It really doesn't.
Centrism doesn't work either.
Especially not in a country like this, where we're already so incredibly far-right leaning that like the radical leftists like Bernie Sanders are like center-left for the rest of the world. And like, we have, the Republican Party over here, who we have fucking detention centers and literal concentration camps for children. We have these decades-long wars. We have like just insane hyper-militaristic, hyper-nationalism, very clear white nationalism, very clear fascism, like all these problems. And then we have Democrats who the best we can hope for is that they don't publicly like support all of those things. They still play along. Obama was in office for 2 terms, and nothing, like, in those respects got much better. You know what I mean? But, like, fuck, dude, you know?
So what did he do? He closed Guantanamo Bay right before he left?
No, he did. I don't think he did, actually.
I think he signed the order and then they overturned it immediately.
Was that what it was?
I don't know.
He did that with Keystone. He did it with Keystone Pipeline.
Maybe that's what I'm.
Yeah, because he fucking hemmed and hawed about the Keystone Pipeline and ignored the police brutality and the great atrocities that were going on down there.
Oh yeah, completely ignored it.
And then at the very last minute, it was like, oh yeah, sure, we'll stop it, because he knew that the second Trump got in office, he'd be like, no, fuck you, we're got to stop every Obama era thing. And fucking, and sure enough, the second Trump got in office, we started the pipeline back up. The pipeline was shut down for 3 fucking days because of Trump's great heroism. Or Obama's, or whoever the fuck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. And that's, I liked a lot of things that Obama did. But there was a lot of things that sucked too. Because he's still a fucking shitty ass American politician. You know what I mean?
Like the system can only make a certain kind of person.
Exactly. If
you want to get to the top of that ladder, you definitely have to be a certain kind of person.
Great strides for like human rights and civil rights and equal rights also. Also, we're literally flying robots to fucking bomb hospitals on the other side of the world because there might be a terrorist in there. Great. You know what I mean? The amount of civilian casualties under his administration, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
Obama fucking also deported more fucking Mexicans than any other president, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he did. Well, at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
Because the thing is, what you got to understand is that we're just going to keep doing it.
Exactly. We'll say things that are very nice.
We're just going to keep doing it.
You'll have a different talking head up there that says, we got to secure the border and build a wall. Nothing's going to fucking happen. And you'll have another person up there like, we got to welcome all people and really build a home for everybody here. And nothing's going to fucking change because they're all the same assholes paid by the same assholes doing the same asshole shit.
Y'all, not y'all, but y'all third person. Y'all. People were freaking out when the Syrian refugee crisis was going on, talking about them bringing any of them over. Any of them. It's like, how many got resettled in the United States? All over, like, different random places. Mm-hmm. And you just see these articles, countless articles, over and over again. They're going to fly in 10,000 Muslims to, like, Texas. And it's like, they're going to put them, they're going to settle them all in Texas. First of all, you don't understand how refugees are settled.
Right.
In any situation. Because nobody just drops all the refugees in one spot.
And just like, here you go, Texas.
There's actually like a lot of reasons you don't do that.
Right.
But one of them is like, honestly, for security, for national security. You don't, like, especially if you're not sure, but you know it's a humanitarian crisis and you don't know who might come in, then you make sure everybody doesn't go to the same fucking town. Families go together, and that's as far as it goes.
I remember when...
And sometimes they're lucky if they get to stay as a family.
I remember when the refugee crisis was going on, and people were friggin' upset about... I'm going to forget the name. I think it was Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah. As they call it. What do they call it? They try to call it Little...
like Little Baghdad or something like that. Because it was a town that was predominantly Muslim. And it's like, okay... There's a bazillion towns that are predominantly Christian. Who fuck are you keeping track of? Are you calling these fucking Little Rome or some shit? Like, who fucking cares?
Well, and they'll show you videos of, like, people coming in. Like, some dude will come in with his camera, his cell phone camera, and he's, like, recording them. And he's like, hey, bro, what's up? I'm not allowed to blah, 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 blah. And then the guy with the fucking head scarf on or whatever, like, is like, get the fuck out of here. And he's putting his hand in front of the camera. He's like, what the fuck? And people are like, oh, see, they don't want you to see. And this is the same dumbass logic anybody on any side can use where you're like, I'm going to tell you what the proof is and then show you the proof. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Obviously, you just walked up to a random dude filming him.
No, drove up to him still in your car with your camera on him and started asking him about Sharia law.
Exactly. He's fucking uncomfortable and doesn't want to talk to you, and he knows no matter what he says or does, you're going to hate him and you're going to use to vilify everything. So, like, it fucking
So I would be like, get the camera out of my fucking face,
even if you had this town that was, like, enacting all these things, isn't that democracy, though? That they had this little town, and they had their elected officials in this town, and they had the laws that they enacted?
No, Forrest, it's a fucking Muslim cancer. It's going to
states' rights that you really like?
It's going to spread across, which, first of all, you can't do Sharia law here because our law system, as bad as it is, isn't going to let some
The First Amendment is kind of a big deal, right? Yeah.
Like, well, just think about the courts aren't going to be like, oh, yeah, you can just have your own. We have, like, maybe there's a few places I know of that have their own, like, court systems.
Yeah.
Sort of. And they, like, religious-based court systems. And it's usually, like, Jewish people. And they've been around forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how you have Native American reservations. Like, if they could just get rid of them all right now, they totally would.
Right.
But because they said a long time ago they wouldn't, they're just letting them have these little bits of land. Mm-hmm. And like,
you know, they'd fucking just wipe people out if they fucking get away with it. Because that's what they've done it before.
They used to do it.
When they could get away with it, that's now. What they did.
They just do it in places really far away, and they show us on a night vision camera.
Exactly. So it looks
by an
great.
Apache attack helicopter, so that we can kind of see us winning, but we can't see anybody losing.
Right.
And that's the important thing.
And that's what fucking gets me, dude.
Because all war is loss, and if we see the loss, we might, it might make our tummies rumbly, and we won't be able to stomach the war.
And that's what I get, is like the whole Sharia law thing. With everything that's described, I agree that sounds horrible. I'm against any religious law. If you're that fucking upset about Muslims might enact religious laws, maybe quit fucking enacting Christian laws, because white evangelical Christianity is a fucking plague in this country, and it's why we are still fighting over fucking abortion rights and shit, because of Christianity. And it's like, dude, if you don't want these...
You're fucking allowed to be Christian, you're just not allowed to make everybody else be Christian.
Exactly.
Asshole.
Exactly. And that's, I can't handle it, because that's always the argument. It's like, if I can't make everybody live in a Christian society, then that's infringing on my religious rights. Like,
I used to get in super heated debates with my grandma about this, and
really?
I told her, and I never once ever, and she respected it, and I respected her opinion too, but I never once told her that you can't believe what you believe.
Yeah.
And I would always argue that and be like, that's not ever what I'm going to say to anyone. Like, unless you were like, I believe that I should kill my grandson. And I'd be like, no, Grandma, you first. And now I am the winner. But it's just, I fucking hate this idea of anybody forcing any religion on anybody ever.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't let militant Buddhists come in and start fucking doing shit.
And those have existed. There have been Buddhist suicide bombers before. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not even forcing you to believe in anything, just forcing me to live under your shitty fucking bullshit rules. Like, who was the woman? She was really, really cool. She was on the Young Turks. I don't remember her name. And she went on that amazing like rant about how like I don't give a shit what the Bible says. Why do we have to fucking have this fucking conversation all the time over, well, the Bible says this and the Bible says that? I don't fucking care. We don't use the Bible as a fucking law book here. Who fucking cares what the Bible says? Quit telling me what the fucking Bible... And that offended so many people. You have to care. Like, fucking, no, we fucking don't, bro.
I don't actually remember her name. Yeah, I just put it backwards.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to,
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's not my logo to show. Anyway.
This one is mine. This is Northeastern State University in Oklahoma, and it's where I did one of my undergrad degrees. Look at it. Look at its form. Look at its shape.
Anyway.
Isn't it beautiful?
I don't know. Now we're
It's not my logo.
Demonetized.
I've just decided to wear it because I got
demonetary. Religious laws are bad.
They're dumb. They're really dumb.
They're dumber than this show. Like,
that's hard.
I just don't. I hate anything like that. I hate it. I don't care. I wouldn't care if there was a dude fucking trying to make atheism the like codified fucking quote unquote belief system, because I don't know how else to describe it right now in this context of the United States. I would be like, fuck that guy.
Right.
He doesn't get to tell people what to think in their head brain.
That's why I have such a problem with religious exemptions on things, on laws, because like I am totally for it in the terms of like, if anybody tried to tell you you're not allowed to have your religion, I would be the first one out there saying fuck that. Like, that's not gonna work. But at the same time,
I don't think I could do that.
Smoke tobacco? Yeah. In here? Why not?
On the video.
Oh fuck. I was gonna say you've done it a million times. Yeah, that's true. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, don't vape, kids.
Yeah, don't vape. Well, I'm doing it as a cessation thing. Yeah, I'm trying to not use nicotine ever again. Right. But it's easier to start this way.
Well, like religious exemptions to things, I would be totally fine with supporting as long as it doesn't affect anybody else but you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like there's people now that are like, oh, I have a religious exemption for the vaccine. You are putting other people at risk. Fuck your religious exemption. Sorry. The same reason you don't get a religious exemption to fucking, genital mutilation because it's in your religion. You don't get a religious exemption to fucking go, tell everybody we can't eat pork.
The vaccine's a hard one though, because you are saying like that they have to put something in their body, and we have precedent for saying that you can't do that.
Well, like a Jehovah's Witness, we can't
like, even though I agree that everybody should get vaccinated. Like, anybody who can at least should be vaccinated. It's like, it's still like, I understand the argument there, at least.
A Jehovah's Witness can't get a blood transfusion. That's part of their thing. Yeah. So you can't force them to get a blood transfusion. But them having a blood transfusion wouldn't kill anybody else. You know what I mean? Or them not having a blood transfusion. So having someone not get vaccinated does put other people at risk. And so I'm like, that's sorry.
It does, but up to this point with any other vaccination, people have been allowed to get an exemption.
Wait a minute. Has it been every other one?
It depends on what you're doing. Now, there are circumstances where, like if you're a nurse or a doctor, you work in a hospital or the medical field, you have to get vaccinated. You don't get a choice.
Right.
Which is why I think it's really weird to see nurses walk out over it, because I'm like, you already know.
And also, you already got a lot of vaccines to become a nurse in the first place.
You got a shit ton. You got some that most people don't even get anymore.
That's what gets me about this so much, is that, like, it's what's so frustrating about
this. If you go into the military, you get vaccines that we've probably never even heard of.
Or tested on anybody else. Yeah. You are the test subject. Yeah. So... And then that's what kills me about this, is that, like, this is the one hill that these people are choosing to die on.
It's soldiers. It was the last thing their God told them to do.
These soldiers and nurses and everybody else have gotten a million vaccines before. When I went to public school, I had to get measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. I had to get a meningitis vaccine to go to school. Tetanus. Yep. I had to get these vaccines to be allowed to go to high school. Nobody fucking cared. Nobody batted an eyelash. And now...
Some people did.
All of a sudden...
Some people did.
And those people were quickly dismissed as crazy.
But they also, sometimes they got exemptions and they didn't, and then their kids got very sick.
Is that in every...
usually their kids get very sick if you don't get your kids vaccinated.
In every other case, when people behave this way and talk about medicine this way and talk about science this way, they immediately are met with ill-concealed laughter. And then we just move on. And it is on this one issue, this one vaccine for this one disease that all of a sudden everybody's a fucking expert. Everybody knows more than the best scientists and doctors and immunologists and epidemiologists and virologists in the whole fucking world. Everybody has an idea of what's going on. Everybody's gone to college to study this shit. Everybody knows. I studied
people for us, but then you have the normal people who have just heard just enough doubt.
I actually studied this shit in college, and you know how many times I heard the words like viral load or breakthrough infection.
I say viral load like every night.
Every day.
I say, here comes another viral load.
Ugh. But like, I heard those words maybe twice in my entire academic career. I've heard them fucking 30 times this week. Because now all of a sudden, everybody fucking knows what this shit means and can calculate it in their heads and all this shit. Like, get fucked. You don't know what you're doing and you're killing people. You're literally killing people because of your fucking arrogance and ignorance. And it's just,
It's also, it's also fear, though.
Yeah, they're
the same thing. Scared because they don't, because the vaccine was, they've been filled with
because just a bunch of people
doubt. That's all it takes.
Because a bunch of people who have taken the vaccine, like Trump and Tucker Carlson and Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz and all these fucking other mouth breathers, they have all taken the vaccine and then told you not to, and so now here you are, scared shitless of a vaccine that your fucking overlords have already taken and enjoyed. It just, oh my gosh, it kills me, dude.
That is pretty crazy that like people saying not to take it have taken it.
They've all gotten vaccinated. They were the first ones to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like,
well, especially the president. I mean, the president gets vaccinated first. Yeah.
Just It's deeply troubling.
It's pretty insane. I'm just saying, I know like smart people who like are worried about the vaccine because they've been filled with like enough doubt, and I think that's all it takes is just a little bit of doubt. You just put a little bit of doubt in people, and now they don't know what to think, and there's so much misinformation about it.
Yeah,
it's gotten to the point where like, unless you have time to like go through all this shit and like really research it, then you basically either have to put your faith in the science community, which seems like a no-brainer,
right,
or you just sit there dumbfounded and don't know what to do, so you just play it safe and don't do it.
Well, that's the thing, is that the people that are fucking so anti-vaccine are the same people who fucking go to the hospital and expect special treatment because they get COVID. And they're the same people that when they fall and break their arm, or they get into a car crash, or they get sick with malaria, or they get a carrot stuck up their ass, they go to the doctor and don't question the doctor's decisions at all, because she's gone to school for over a decade to learn exactly how to take care of me. I'm not going to question what she has to say. But on this one issue, this one vaccine, this one virus, they know better than her. And it's boring and
People
dumb.
question their medical professionals constantly.
I don't think nearly as much. I don't think it even close to the same way.
Maybe not the same way, but they do constantly question medical professionals, especially if they've been on WebMD for more than 5 fucking
That's
minutes.
true. That's a fair point, is that WebMD is a fucking plague.
People always do the fucking, you call the plumber after you Googled all night how to fix your toilet, and then you make sure he does it right.
Yeah.
It's the fucking same with medical professionals. I don't care. I just know.
I try so hard.
I feel like we almost need to bring my wife in here and be like, how many times has somebody been wrong about a medical diagnosis that you're fucking trying to explain to them?
Yep. God.
And she'd be like,
hey, the camera died again.
Time to fix that.
Yeah,
Tally-ho.
I'll fix that, and then we'll wrap up. And that'll be the last time, because that'll be the last clip, because we're already at an hour, right?
Yeah, we are, I think. We're about at an hour.
There you go.
about.
So now you've seen it. Now you've watched a full episode of us sitting here like jack-offs talking on a couch. Are you happy? Does this make you smile? Sincerely, I do hope you enjoyed it.
I hate this fucking shit.
I wouldn't know why you do if you do. But we hope you had fun tuning in if you're watching us on the
YouTube.
YouTube is the word.
YouTube.
Yep. If you're watching us on the YouTubes, we hope you enjoyed it. If you're not, then this was just a regular terrible episode, just like any other terrible episode that you've listened to.
And you love it.
Please subscribe.
That's my biggest thing with the video. If we do a whole video feed, is we can't get too crazy because I don't want to alienate sound-only listeners.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like, what can we do here that would be...
Those are the best people, too. People who don't want to watch you, they just want to listen to you.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Those are the best people.
Why does everyone always want to watch us when you could just listen to us?
You could just listen in.
You could just hear us out.
Just tune it.
You don't have to look at us and judge
right
us visually.
Put us in your ear holes. Feel it. Feel the conversation inside your ear orifices, or, you guessed it, earifices. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week of I'm Not Comfortable with This, the podcast that is actually palpably bad. I'm Forrest.
It's fucking trademarked bad.
And that's Ben.
Oh shit. That's the only time I've ever fucked that up. And I'm Ben.
And let us know in the comments if you enjoyed the video, B, if you want more of the video, C,
more anyway.
If
for at least a couple months
have ever played Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door,
definitely
and
let us know.
D, let us know if you would put citric acid, Sour Patch Kid dust, on anything other than sour candies, whatever. What do you think?
Would you cook with it? Use it as seasoning?
What do you think sour dust would be good on?
Okay, so a more productive use of your time would be to share and get us to 1,000 things so I can eat
do the things that I said first.
He is insane. Do you want to see me eat the uterus or not?
If you want to see me eat the universe.
I don't want to do it, and I don't even care if it tastes good.
Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. My YouTube channel, 77% of the people...
For some reason, I was convinced you were going to say my uterus.
You eat my too. On my YouTube channel, 77% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed.
Andre Chikatello.
I bet that it's a similar situation here.
Oh, it's probably worse.
So if you're listening to this and you're not subscribed, you fucking freeloader, go subscribe.
Yeah, get us, because it'd be cool to have a thing, a goal, and then we get the goal, and I eat the nasty food. It'd be great.
It'd be rad, man.
And we're gonna do it on camera now.
We're gonna do it on
fuck
camera.
my life.
Yeah. So check that out. Talk to you later. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.